The camera is your live.
Excitement.
Oops.
Helps if our camera is on the computer. There
Sorry,
we go.
everyone. I mean to take you for a ride there.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this live, to our YouTube live about level 1, your bridge to energetic self-healing.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. If you feel called to let us know who you are and where you are located, we would love to just get a sense of who's here with us right now.
We can introduce ourselves.
That'd be great. Go ahead.
I'm Claire, and I am an emotional healing guide and one of the founders of Self-Healing Immersion with Jess.
Hey, everyone. I am Jess, and Claire and I together make up Centers for Energetic Healing. Hi, Sarah.
Good morning, Sarah.
Yes. And I'm also one of your guides for the Self-Healing Immersion community as well. Claire and I will talk a little bit more. Oh, hi, Sean. Good morning.
Hey, Sean. Good morning.
Yeah, it's so great to have you guys here with us. Thanks for joining us. We have some amazing content we want to come to you with. So if you have questions about level 1, that's really going to be the topic. And we're going to get into the specifics. I guess I should continue introducing myself. So I'm Jess Bell. I'm an osteopath, an energy healer, and really here to offer what I've learned over the years in my career, but really in my own experience about healing, like soul level healing. And that's what Claire and I are here to offer. So
good morning, Catherine.
Catherine, it's so great to have you with us this morning.
Great. So today we just want to give you all the information about, what is level 1? Why are we doing it now? What is this self-healing thing that we're bringing? We obviously want to give you all the logistics and let you know how we're doing it and where you can find it and the layout and all of that. And then we just kind of want to jump into the meat of the whole program. And then Jess will lead us through a group healing session at the end.
Yeah, so you can plan accordingly. So we are going to be taking questions for the first hour, and then starting at 11 o'clock, I'll offer the group healing session. So you have plenty of time if you're out in the world driving, kind of tuning in. If you happen to be at home and you're hoping to get that group healing session, that'll start at 11 and we'll go to 11:30 roughly, but we'll probably end right at 11:30, just so you can plan accordingly.
Yeah. So you're going to start with the why? You want me to go?
Yeah, you do it.
So let's give you some context. One of the things that Jess and I bring is this more cosmic view of what's happening, that we are energetic beings having this very human experience, but there's this grand mystery that's happening all around us all the time. There's this mystery of what happens before we get here. There's a mystery of what are we doing while we're here, and the mystery of what happens after we go. And when we get really stuck in our human view and we miss this wider zoom out of what's happening here, which none of us know, right? So it's all an exploration of what our beliefs are individually. But when we miss that zoom out, we can get really caught in anxiety and holding on to things, and we can kind of miss the magic of what it is to be a human being. So everything that Jess and I bring through is really helping you to connect into you so that you can figure out what am I doing? What's meaningful to me? What do I think the meaning of my life is? We know now that humans, when we aren't connected in, when we don't feel that there's meaning in our life, that we really struggle. We need connection and we need meaning. And so what we want to do is connect you to the most fulfilling meaning and connection that you can have in your life. So it's about tuning back into your body and really arriving in it in a real way, and understanding that it's always speaking to you. So giving you the tools to listen to it, and then also understanding how to respond to what's happening in your brain and help you separate from it so that it doesn't, cause you to live on autopilot your whole life. Just give you some more conscious awareness so you have more agency over your life. So we really want to help you zoom out, and we want to help you connect in.
And what I'd like to add to that is that I sometimes will refer to a term that I learned by another teacher, Lori Ladd, who talks about this concept of soul amnesia. When we come into a physical body to have a physical experience, we forget. I mean, that's just one of the things that I believe happens to us. We come in and we forget that we are this magnificent energy being that is so vast, and that actually we're made entirely of the energies of love. And when we come here onto this earth plane, which Dolores Cannon calls like Earth School, which is the hardest school in the whole multiverse here, we've come here, we've specifically chosen to come here into this physical form to have this experience that's really intense. And this is my experience, my feeling is that our whole reason for choosing to come here is to actually remember the fact that we are a soul while also in the body, because we get to feel things when we're in a body. We get to feel all the emotions when we're in a body. We get to have chocolate. We get to enjoy intimacy. We get to walk on the earth and feel the sand between our toes. And we get to do that in a body. But what has happened to us is that we've gotten really dense. We've all been challenged from the moment that we plop onto the earth, because our society has gotten pretty sick and pretty programmed, and we've absorbed a lot of dense energies in our body. And the more that we have resisted as far as our healing goes, if we've gotten through our life and we're like, I'm good, I'm fine, and we've just pushed away the densities inside of us, meaning like they kind of bubble up, into our awareness at times. But so many of us have been running so fast through our lives that we've become expert compartmentalizers and doers. And now is a time for us, for everyone on the planet, there's a deeper call for everyone. You can deny it, but every single human on the planet is actually being called to go back inside. And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this, because when you do go in and when you do attend to the internal energies of your body and alchemize those energies back to a state of coherence and love, you actually get to be more awake to who you really are. The less dense energy, the less chaotic, scattered energy you have in your body, the more you get to feel the expansiveness of your being. And that means all parts of your life, all parts of your body have ease again. We are being challenged right now, all of us, every human on the planet. And inside your body lives your solution to find your way through this in this state of love, in a way that's calm and rooted and resilient to whatever is going to happen out there, because nobody knows.
Something that I want to add here is that, multiple people involved in level 1 last time expressed that they didn't know that there was anything there to look at, that we can kind of get to a place where we set up our lives so we don't really get challenged, where we choose activities that we enjoy and that we're competent at, and we choose people who don't trigger us and are easy, a lot of us. And so if that's the case, we can kind of feel like, well, I'm healed and I'm good. And if that is where you're coming from, that's great. And also, if you're curious about what might be lingering under the surface, we can guarantee you that there's more. We talk a lot about how we get to a certain level of competence and understanding at the level that we're at in our life. And then there's an opportunity to deepen it, for us to get to know ourselves even better, for us to gain even more tools, to have more ease. And the other cool thing is that the more we do this, the more connected in we feel on a regular basis. And again, in comes that connection and meaning. The more meaning we feel, the more connection we feel in our lives. And so even if you feel like you're good, I can promise you there's more, and things can be even better, even more incredible, even more connected than they even are at the moment. So
Great. So for those of you that are here, do you have any questions that you'd like to throw into the chat right now? Claire and I are more than happy to talk about the program and more of the details and what you can expect and that kind of thing. And we intend to do that, but we also really want to answer any questions that have been coming up for you as well. So that's really the point of us coming here today.
So maybe we can just talk logistics while we give people a second to do that.
Great.
So this next section of level 1 starts on May 22nd. And the general format of the program is that May 22nd is a Sunday. So every Sunday evening, we release a content library for the week that's online that you get to access. And it's a compilation of an audio practice from Jess, working with the different energy centers, which she'll talk about in a little bit. Videos about your energetic system, about your emotional tools, your emotional makeup, context for your emotions, and just ways to help you navigate those and dive in. Sometimes you will have an audio from me. And then additionally, I put together worksheets for everyone so that the concepts that you're getting in the emotional work portion of the program, you get to apply. The more that we apply the concepts by doing practices every day and engaging with the worksheets and really looking at our emotional landscape, the more things solidify in as we go through. So we really try to make this super practical. So that's all released on Sunday nights. And then you have all week to kind of at your own pace go through the program and watch what's available, engage with it. And then every Friday morning during our 5-week time together, we get together on Zoom from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. And we do a group healing session and we help you troubleshoot things that are coming up. We check in with you, see how you're doing. And then we do little activities. Something that we've done with the groups in the past is we'll do a working through the loop workshop where you can bring anything that's kind of sticking emotionally from the week and bring it to us in front of the group. And we gently kind of work through it. We'll take you through a process to help you gain some deeper wisdom and get through the sticky parts of whatever's remaining. Sometimes we leave it, we all just stay in a big group and we have more of a discussion about whatever topic is coming through for either one of us. We may also break out into small groups if that feels like, what is being called. But the biggest thing for Jess and I is that every group that comes together for this level 1 is different. The needs are different every week. Mm-hmm. And we keep a loose format of, group healing session, Q&A, and group activity time. But we leave room so that we can respond to whatever is coming up in the group, whatever's happening. We want everyone to get the most out of the time together. So we do a lot of checking in with you all during that time. During the course of the program, if you have anything that's coming up during the week and you don't want to wait till Friday, or you don't feel like you can and you need some extra support, Jess and I are available for you on email to correspond back and forth for whatever you're needing. This really is just a more intimate, cohesive program to really hold you as you're doing a deep intensive dive into this work.
And what I want to add to that is that our bodies, so I'm your energy person, and I'll always bring things back to what's going on inside of you. It's so important to start to objectify your personal life experience because we have this overactive mind. And so like if there's something that's happening and we have pain somewhere, our mind will become the problem solver and try to itemize what might be going on there. When you can, so that story might be, there's something wrong. I need to go to the doctor. I may have to go get surgery. Perhaps I should take some ibuprofen. So we begin this long process because we've actually been programmed to think that there's something wrong with us when our body is talking. When you can start to turn that dial, and I like to talk about energetic goggles. So I have been in the process of seeing more of myself and the world around me energetically over these past really couple of years. And as I've been transitioning from this very traditional doctor where I was programmed to diagnose people and offer interventions, sometimes really abrasive interventions. And I watch people get a little bit better, and then I watch them kind of bounce back. And the moment that I transitioned into my very first energetic osteopathic, I'll call it a treatment, because it was with a patient who was no longer in my office, but in her home. Actually, it was a male, so it was in his home. All of a sudden, I saw the world in a completely different way, and I saw the body in a completely different way. I mean, literally, I actually got to see the body. So, great question, Sean. I'll get to that. So my intention for you in joining this program is to, number one, give you a 10-step energetic protocol that I've actually changed since the last time that we did level 1.
Updated.
It has been updated and upgraded. Things are moving so fast right now energetically, and I receive the protocol that I've put together into 10 steps from a channeled experience. I do these practices in my own body every day. And so as I'm watching the energy move through my own body and feeling the changes that are happening as I'm going through my own steps, I'm bringing that to you. So it's always changing. The energies are always changing as far as like what's coming through us from the earth and from source. And so my role here is to help you, to give you the information that's coming through me and offer it to you so that you can really work inside of your own system, because that's your birthright. You get the chance to deep dive more than anybody else. There's a lot of support out there for you. I happen to be one person that can just be a guide to you, to help problem solve, to give you a protocol, to give you a framework. But I think that, what we haven't said here yet is that we are our own greatest healers. And we've been programmed by our society to believe that's not true. We've been very disempowered by our current health system. We've been told to go outside of our own bodies to go get help. But the help is inside of you. You're an energetic being. And when you learn the framework, the tools, the emotional work to get inside, it changes you from the inside out. Your whole body transforms, your life transforms. And this isn't easy work because it takes commitment, it takes consistency, but it's a completely different shift. So we're shifting you from being disempowered, meaning the world is happening to you, you have to go get help from the outside, to everything is serving you. Everything is teaching you. This is Earth School, and you are actually born with internal self-healing capacities that are, in a lot of us, very untapped. They're very intuitive. And as soon as you start kind of like, for me, the moment that I started doing this work, I just started to feel that a guidance. It was like a remembrance. And so this is your kind of your gateway into the world that you've always been immersed within, but you've been programmed to not remember.
So during the program, what we ask is that you really take some time to sit with this, because when we start realizing all of these old programs that we have, all of these limiting beliefs, all of these ways that we've been giving our power away to other people and not realizing how powerful we are, it takes some time to really sit with that and digest it and tear it apart, so that we can have some agency and actually start to replace those thoughts, change the way that we're responding in our environment, and really embrace a new way of being. So one of the things that we invite everyone in our program to do is just to create a really, really safe feeling, sacred, private space for yourself during the 5 weeks that you can return to. If you have a family, it might be in a place where you can close a door, and make sure that you let people know that when you're in there and the door is closed, that that's your time. You may find during the program, as you're excavating, that deep emotions come up and tears may be part of that. And one of the things I encourage people to do is to cry audibly, because we're talking about energy here, and sound is vibration and vibration is energy. And so the more we can allow ourselves to make noise, the more energy we get to move. So if you create a space that you feel comfortable really crying in, really making noise in, that's really helpful too. Even if that place is just your car. I am no stranger to taking a car ride or going and parking somewhere and crying, because it's just really important for us to let ourselves have that kind of release. So in any case, we encourage everyone to create a space that feels sacred and calm and peaceful and private, so that you have the time and space, or rather, so you have the space to do it, and then to carve out a time, hopefully every day, but as often as you can throughout the course, throughout the program, so that you can really apply what you're learning. Because again, it's really easy for us to intellectually understand concepts, and it's another thing to just really deeply embody them and start putting them into practice.
So what I'd love to invite for any of you that are thinking of coming along or returning, this is an upgraded version. So we actually already have some folks from the last level one who are coming back to do this next level, because meaning the last level one that we ran just like
they're going to repeat it
a couple months ago. Yeah, I actually had a whole different protocol. In 2020, I started doing different levels, and this is something completely different, because Claire and I are very aware that what I bring is, and we'll talk about this in a minute, is very different than what she brings, and that actually bringing those two tool sets together, the energetic and the emotional, and teaching you how to integrate those, that's where we get to balance out our energetic system with divine masculine energies and divine feminine energies. We're all moving into a state of beautiful harmony within our own bodies. And so that means knowing how to embrace both aspects, the divine masculine being more of the doing energies, and the divine feminine being more of the loving being, the energies of stillness, of presence, of truth. So there's a lot to say about that, but that's why these levels are different than what I brought in 2020 and also in 2021. And so as far as this 5-week period goes, we start on May 22nd. We're finished on July 3rd. The only live time, just to repeat that, is on Friday mornings from 9 a.m. until noon Eastern time. And that doesn't mean you have to be present for all the Zoom sessions. They're all recorded, and you'll get just as much. The only thing you won't get if you're not able to attend the live sessions is the interaction with our group. But this is quantum energy that we're connecting in with. And so it doesn't matter when you connect in, as long as you do the work. That's the number one most important thing. I see this 5-week period as being a resilience building experience for you, as far as developing a level of coherence, heart coherence in your body. So coherence is an energetic term that I use a lot. And the reason I'm using that is because we know what it feels like. Most of us know the baseline level of incoherence. We live from our brain. That's an incoherent way of existing. We are constantly scanning the outer environment to make sure that we're going to be safe. And therefore, our bodies are always in a state of very low level, but kind of chronic stress. Did I speak that improperly?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. Claire's going to correct the end date, which is?
It's okay. So it starts on May 22nd, and actually the last Zoom gathering is June 24th.
Oh my gosh.
So it finishes the week
sorry.
before July. We did that on purpose so you could be free for July 4th weekend. So yeah, June 24th is the last day.
My apologies.
Totally fine.
So these 5 weeks, not only are you going to be held in a safe, contained, I like to call it an energetic womb. We're all a family here. Every single one of us, whether you're, aware of yourself as an energetic being or not, we all come from the same exact energy. And when we gather together and we're all doing the exact same work to open our energetic systems up, to alchemize these densities inside of us, return to states of love and heart coherence, we support one another, we hold one another, we enhance the experience of one another energetically, making healing even more accessible from those deeper layers. And so these 5 weeks are really a container for you to be able to access those deeper states of healing. That's why this is such a huge experience. And what you put into it, meaning your daily embodiment experiences, your practices, how you engage with the tools that Claire and I offer you, will greatly enhance your ability to get those densities out of your body. They don't want to be there anymore. That's why there are so many more symptoms. So many people are having more symptoms right now. I work individually with a lot of clients, and as does Claire, and we are seeing it, and we know what's going on out there. It's hard to be in a body right now. And so the more that we go in and learn tools to start clearing this stuff out, the more ease you will find. And also the emotional tools bring you into areas of your body that will allow you to actually hold that ease, because we talk about resilience a lot as well. So working both tool sets not only brings us into a state of energetic heart coherence, but it also helps us to actually stay there for longer periods of time. We're still human. So this isn't the utopian, you do this program and you will be like magically all better. This is a process that we're all in, every single one of us. Claire and I get to do our work a lot every day.
Do you want to take the time to answer Sean's question?
Yeah,
Sean
yeah.
asked, what is the difference between meditation and the deep diving healing practice you're offering?
And also just check in, I'll answer that question. Thank you, Sean, for asking that. And for any other questions that come in, please go ahead and put those in the chat as well. You might have noticed that Claire and I can fill up an hour pretty easily talking about how much we love what we're offering here. So we want to make sure that we cater this to you.
And if you haven't said hello yet, please feel free to let us know who you are and that you're here.
Yeah. So what's the difference between meditation and an energetic self-healing practice? So an energetic self-healing practice is what I offer in level 1 with a protocol, which means that I'll teach you about your energetic system, how you get into your energetic system, meaning how do you get your body into a state where it actually goes from the more of an incoherent state, which is where we're always scanning the outer environment, into the body. And so there's a process by which we can connect in, and I teach that. And then there are 10 steps to help you to begin to feel the parts of your body from energy center to energy center. There are 6 main energy centers inside of your body that I will offer you ways to access, ways to open, ways to clear out. So an energetic self-healing practice is it's a state of actually doing something in your body. You take, I teach how to take the breath, your attention, and then I also teach how to use your own hands energetically to actually move energy through your body from a state of stagnation to a state of flow. And by doing that, your body becomes more coherent, and a lot of that unprocessed energy that's just been sitting in there, maybe causing pain, maybe causing just you to feel really ungrounded. There are lots of things that happen when we have a lot of dense energy in your body. We all do. And so the more tools that you have to begin clearing that out actively, consciously, with your breath, with your hands, with your focused mind, the more ease you will feel in your body, because your body goes into states of deeper and deeper and deeper coherence. So that's an active process, even though when doing it, the way that I teach this, you can lie down. I most often teach this while you're sitting up, nice straight spine, relaxed though, because there's an energetic channel that runs right through the middle of your body. And the more that this is for me, I personally like to do these practices while seated, because I can really connect into my channel and all the energy centers that I am clearing during a practice. Meditation, this is my own personal opinion about meditation, is the act of, it's much more divine feminine in nature, energetically, versus a self-clearing practice, which is divine masculine. You are actively clearing dense energies from your body while doing an energetic self-healing practice. In meditation, I also like to call, for me, meditation integration. So I find that when I just sit down, I used to be a meditator. I used to go to ashrams. I used to go to meditation sanghas and things like that. And I always found meditation really hard, because my mind was always going and my body was really uncomfortable. And, come to find out years later, I had so much dense energy in my body that even just sitting upright was very uncomfortable. My back hurt, my shoulders hurt, my neck hurt. It's really amazing. Actually, now I pretty much never sit with discomfort in my body. I can sit for long, long periods of time. And so meditation is a period of time where you're just present with your body, not doing anything. And what this does is it allows your body to be still. Because I have such an active mind and body, I'm always moving. You might notice I move my hands a lot because I'm always feeling energy. Um, for me, meditation is best done at the end of a self healing practice because my body is at ease. I feel much more calm. If I had tension in my body before the practice, a lot of that has usually eased off by the time I'll actually sit. And so, what a meditation can do, and it doesn't matter if you are using meditation the way that I am, I personally feel that meditation is time for you to do nothing, to literally take your focus from the outside world, take all that energy that you're directing using your outer five senses, and now invert that, bring that back into your body. You might meditate in many different ways. Some people do walking meditations, and that's just connecting into the breath and the body. And that's it. Walking along, feeling your feet on the earth, and breathing. That's meditation. So that's really the difference that I see. Meditation is about integration, finding and cultivating stillness, focusing on really just maybe one thing, just your breath. Maybe you're focusing on your heart, but you're not actually actively using a practice to move energy. They go really well together. I find that when I can sit in meditation after doing a self healing practice, I go deep really fast. I mean, before I remember meditating for long periods of time and just kind of feeling uncomfortable. And I never really felt like I could get into that state of like um, flotation. It's like this nothingness. When I sit down and do a self healing practice for a while and then go into a meditation, which means I just place my hands back down on my lap, I just sit there and breathe, and I'm not thinking about anything in particular. Usually I'm just breathing in and out of my heart. I can feel this like nothingness. It's the most incredible thing. It's happening more as time goes on now because the energies are changing. So many of us now are having different experiences when we go in our bodies. And I think you might find that if you do play around with spending maybe 5 or 10 minutes after an energetic clearing practice, you'll find you'll be able to notice some things, just in that state of stillness. Sometimes you can connect in and ask questions of your higher guidance team, which we don't talk about much, but and just get more information about where to go in your life, intuitive guidance. So there's a lot more to say about that, but that's my general reflections on meditation. Do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, meditation too, we're seeing just physiologically, I mean, it helps your telomeres to get longer. So it helps with our longevity. They're seeing boosts in people's immune system. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful benefits of meditation, but something I love to bring in just contrasting meditation with what we're doing is there is a movie called How to Cook Your Life, and it's about Ed Brown, who wrote the Tessahara Bread book, and he's a deep like Buddhist meditator and leads these beautiful retreats where there's a combination of, cooking really wholesome, whole foods and really nourishing foods and meditating. And in this documentary, you get to watch Ed. The way they did it is so entertaining and amazing because Ed will be in the kitchen stabbing a package of cheese with a spoon in a fit of rage because he can't get it open and he's got some like serious anger issues. And then they'll cut to him leading the meditation workshop a couple hours later. And what it shows you is one, his humanity, which is so endearing. And you just fall in love with this man as you're watching this movie. But it also shows meditation is this beautiful thing that gives our nervous system a break no matter what's happening. And it also helps us to start to practice some awareness of what's happening in our mind. But what it doesn't do is rewrite the programs that are causing the pain in the first place. And so I shouldn't say pain, suffering, the programs that are causing the suffering in the first place. And so, that's why you can have this really incredible Buddhist meditator leading these workshops and still really suffering in terrible fits of rage because it's just an example of this human who just doesn't have the tools. It's not that there's anything wrong with Ed. He's a beautiful human being, but it's just very separate what we're bringing. So, you know, if you're a meditator and it's a huge part of your life already, that's amazing. Good. Keep doing it. What we'll do is just bring in a complementary set of tools and a different way to sit with yourself. That's what Jess brings. A different way to feel into your body so that you have more tools to bring. It's not a one or the other sort of thing. We don't bring in this program as a, this is how it's done. We bring in this program and these tools and these ways of thinking about things as basically like a larger menu of things to augment the healing that you're already doing. You're going to know as you go through the tools which ones really work for you and help you settle in more to your body and who you are, and which ones don't work. Jess and I come to this work from very different places. You know, Jess comes from the energetic first and then applies the emotional and complements it. And I come to this work from the emotional work first. And then I've learned how to bring in the energetic tools to augment what I'm doing. So we just bring in this framework, this menu, so that you can choose what's going to work for you and help you to deepen your healing experience. So what we are bringing is more active in that we're asking you to gain these tools, but then also apply them. So it's not a passive process. It's very much a practical, active process that we're asking you to bring in.
A lot of what, what's being asked right now is a return in to the body. And that's not always easy to do in the beginning.
Good morning,
Jen. Good morning. So let me just finish this thought and then I'm going to read Jen's question. Thank you for posting on. So when we start this process, this journey, when we go in, when we basically, so again, put on your energetic goggles. So energy can't be created or destroyed. It's a constant. It just gets redirected into different places. And so many of us have been conditioned to live our life by always looking outside. And meanwhile, this whole time, there's a lot of energy inside of your body that's making it so that it's warping it's distorting your view of what you see out there. The world can look really harsh when you're looking through a lens that's very cloudy, right? And so as you start to go in, the brain can get kicked up because it's like, whoa, don't go down there. Let's just keep on looking out there. So we look for distraction. We look for ways to self-soothe. Addiction is one of those, we all come through attachments to outside, and I shouldn't say all of us, but at least, from my experience, I was always trying to find comfort outside of my body. And the second that I would quiet down initially, when I started doing meditation practices, I went literally running outside of a meditation center. One of the first 3-day meditation retreats that I did, I ran away. I ran out because I was so uncomfortable. My brain got so loud. And years later, thankfully, meditation just kind of kept on coming back into my life. And I'm so grateful to have hit an absolute bottom in my life where the noise outside of me, the solutions outside of me got so excruciating because they didn't work. The noise in my head got so loud. The discomfort in my body got so loud that I actually didn't have any choices left. Of course, we always have choices, but that's when I went in. And so it's not an easy process. And I feel that at this point, especially, it's what Claire and I are offering here are so many ways to create a safe environment so that as you do go in, and if you are having an experience like, some of the experience that I had early on where I didn't have a lot of guidance. I just was like, it took me years really to get to this place of peace in my body that I now get to return to every day. I have tools to return to peace, and I do that. It's not all day long that I feel that peace, but the tools bring me there. Ultimately, this is a process that we're all learning how to do to return to that soul level self. So that's just another thing that using the tools in various ways can help you to create a system in your body, a safe place for you to land so that actually healing is possible, because it's so hard. Our body is not designed to heal when we're feeling unsafe. It's like if you're out in the jungle, right, and you're getting chased by something, really that's a heightened stress response. Your body's not going to just like all of a sudden go into a healing state. So this is a container. This is a healing womb, so that those deeper states of healing that you are seeking are actually going to be attainable, because the tools will offer you a safe place. The program will offer you a safe place so that healing can actually be initiated and catalyzed. So 2 questions. So Jen asks how energetic healing compares and contrasts with somatic therapies, such as shaking, to release emotions or trauma. Great question. I love that so much. All movement releases and moves energy, but this is what I'm seeing right now. The guidance that comes through me to offer to you is specific. So moving your body, shaking, releasing, there's so many ways to get energies through your body. When we have much more of a specific framework, it will help to get to the root of these energies. Shaking can help to, help your system to downregulate, and can bring you from, I was just talking about this, right? From states of heightened stress from trauma. There are like these energetic reverberations. Our body literally, when I go in and I start working with people during a group healing session, more often a one-on-one session, I can feel that static. That's that sympathetic heightened response that the body oftentimes will hold in a very low level that most people aren't even aware of. I can tune into. I do tune into that. And so the real difference here, without getting too overly descriptive, is that these energetic self-healing practices go into the core of it, the real root. And that is what causes the energy outside of it to finally melt away and release. These other somatic therapies that I've encountered, and I'm certainly open to discussion, are helpful to almost like downregulate and debulk the experience, but the root remains. And so then you have to do a lot of those. So what Claire and I bring is connecting into the love, connecting in, as an osteopath, I learned that in the center of any lesion that I work with osteopathically, and I'll just translate that to energy, in the middle of any dense collection of energy in your body, the very core of that is love. It's the energy of love. And so we connect in with that, with the emotional tools, by always connecting in with love. And Claire brings that in a huge way. That's a lot of what she offers. And I do so energetically by teaching you how to systematically go into the root and connect into that love, so that you don't have to continue to shake or do the somatic therapies. Let's just say that I have found this to be a much deeper solution than anything I've ever encountered before. So,
I mean, also additionally to that, these therapies, a lot of the time we're going to like a somatic therapist that's, helping us to figure out what's happening and connect us in. And, what Jess and I are bringing is a new way of relating to ourselves and our bodies. It's relation-based. Most of us don't realize that we have ways of being in the world that actually negate our own experience and cause us to ignore the signals we're getting from our bodies, ignore the signals we're getting from our inner being that's letting us know that we're in alignment or out of alignment. And so what Jess and I are bringing is really deep awareness. It's awareness of, how am I moving through the world? Am I doing it at a pace that actually feels good to me? Or am I pushing through every day? Am I stuffing my emotions down? Am I showing up honestly in my relationships? Am I honoring the needs that are coming up within me? Am I honoring the direction that I want for my life? So there's so many different, I'm going to just call them like manual therapies, like different ways of moving and releasing energy in your body. Some of them are more efficient than others, and all of them have a place. If you're in fight or flight and you need to use something that's like shaking your feet and moving your body to get down out of that, like do that. That's really important. We need to be able to get to safety in our systems. But what we're bringing is daily body and soul maintenance. It's you attending to you in a really loving way and actually gaining some comfort and a sense of home in who you are and not being uncomfortable with your body, the way it feels, your own emotions, and just who you are in the world. Like, you deserve to actually be fully connected into who you are. And so that's what we're doing. So that's at least my lens.
That's, yeah, really good point. And I'll just piggyback on that by saying that when I'm doing an energetic self-healing practice, I do it every day. And I find that
Awesome, Jen.
Great. And the other thing, Jen, I feel like I know you. Have I met you before?
Your name 14 minutes until you need to start.
Okay. Anyway, so the energetic self-healing practice is something that I will, regardless of what's going on, whether I'm feeling, a trauma response in my body, meaning if I'm feeling triggered, dense, disconnected, I pretty much every night, some nights I do miss because I just get too tired, but almost every single night I sit down, I light a candle, and I do an energetic self-healing practice before bed. It's like my energetic hygiene for the day. I also will do a practice oftentimes in the middle of the day too, maybe not as a long a practice, as extensive a practice, but what this does is I'm literally clearing and cleansing my energetic system so that I can feel my best, I can feel rooted and grounded and really expanded. So that's another thing that I just wanted to offer there, that, that this isn't just about doing a practice while you're in a trauma state or trying to calm down your system while you're heightened. It's actually about creating what I like to call a life way above threshold. So when I do a self-healing practice, I'm bringing myself into a state of vitality that is abundant. I get to feel really good. And therefore, it takes a lot for me to be knocked off center. So by doing this on a day-to-day basis, you're actually bolstering up your energetic system. This is just from my end of things. And Claire has a lot to say about like why to do the emotional work in an ongoing way. So, when we're triggered, when we're having a hard time, when we're in trauma, we're not starting from square zero, right? We're actually starting from a place where we've already established these practices in our days. And so it's easier to fall back onto them because trauma is such a for me, it's a blinding experience. If I'm in trauma, the world gets I get tunnel vision. And so when you practice these tools that we bring you every day and they just become a part of your daily maintenance routine, it's much easier to pull your tools out. And even when you're in a state of tunnel vision, when you feel like you're just disconnected from it all. So that's just another part to bring in.
Which ties in perfectly to Lucy's question. So Sarah, we're going to come back to your question about self-healing immersion versus level 1. It's a great question. But just to piggyback on what Jess just said with these tools, Lucy said, do you suggest a journal of thoughts or feelings that pop up and to look back through it to connect and honor those feelings and thoughts? So in level 1, I give worksheets every week. And sometimes I am encouraging you to take out, some people feel scared about keeping a journal because they're like, I don't want anyone to read what's coming up for me. Like, I don't even want to admit to myself what's happening in my brain. So I just tell people, find a piece of paper. If you want to keep a journal so you can look back and you feel comfortable doing that, that's awesome. And if you'd rather just rip out a sheet of paper so you can burn it or tear it up after, that's great too. But yes, sometimes keeping a written record is really helpful to see, one, if there are patterns of emotions that are coming up, if you have limiting thoughts that are coming up over and over again, recording things and writing them down. Or I encourage people to speak into a voice recorder. Having some record of what's happening for you emotionally gives you the ability to go back and look at things and really, one, give yourself credit for how far you've come, because when we're just with ourselves day to day, we often miss the beautiful amounts of practice and integration and solidification that we're doing. And so we miss our own growth and we forget to give ourselves credit for how much we're growing. But then also, it can help to shed light on some things that are still really sticky after a period of time. So, one thing I'll share is that on my phone, I have a few years now of voice recordings. And Jess and I were talking about, just my process my live process in the moment of how I work through things that feel really sticky. And I give all of my, not all, but a lot of my voice recordings, I give them a title so that I kind of know what it was about. And there was this one from December of 2019 that was called Mirror Work Meltdown. And so I listened to it, and it was back before I met Jess. It was back before we realized how this work went together. And it was so amazing to see how guided I was that evening when I was in deep heartbreak and just feeling so much abandonment and so beside myself. In that voice recording from December of 2019, I narrated the whole thing and talked about how I was showing up for myself, whether or not I was looking in the mirror, what thoughts were coming up. I was catching that I was in a story, and then I was able to show up for myself and offer myself compassion. And it was such a gift to have recorded that the way that I did, because now here we are, like a year and a half later, and I can see how far I've come. But then I have this recording that I was able to then share with Jess and show her. I was telling them about the mirror work meltdown thing that I sent you. It was this really beautiful illustration. Jess was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that that's how you put it together. And it's also amazing because I wasn't doing it for a teaching thing, because I wasn't even knowing I was going to teach at that point. It was just me living the work. So anyway, the more you can document it, whether you're writing it down or you're doing a voice recording, you can look back, you can learn from it, you can have compassion for yourself after the fact. It's a really beautiful way for you to just continue to get to know your own emotional patterns you're looping, and rediscover and love your humanity. So, yeah. Do you want to answer Sarah's question, or did you have something to say about that?
I would love to answer Sarah's question.
Awesome.
I'll start and you can go. So Sarah,
Sarah's asking about self-healing immersion, our monthly subscription. Why would you do that versus taking level 1? So like I guess we can compare and contrast them.
Yeah. So, okay. So self-healing immersion is about the everyday community, bringing our soul family together and holding a container so that we can have a forum, an ongoing discussion. It's about like not doing this in the cold anymore. I feel like so many of us who are awakening or are awake and are recognizing the need that, oh my gosh, I've been living my life up until now feeling really disconnected from myself and out of sorts with how do I even learn how to do this stuff. Self-healing immersion is an ongoing way for you to get content, regular content, lots of live interaction, workshops, group healing sessions, and start to kind of piece together a lifestyle that's going to ease you into the self-healing lifestyle. So it's so dynamic. There's so much to say about that, but the way that Claire and I have been feeling about that is it's a place for us to offer you what's going on now, what's going on in the planet. How do we integrate what's happening out there? What comes up, I channel a lot of the content that I bring to self-healing immersion. So, the energy pulse, for example, is what's happening now? What am I feeling on the planet? And how can I, speak about that in a way that's going to be helpful and supportive for you and help to normalize the experience of like, what's going on. And then to give you bite-sized pieces of content, really, about like your system, things that I channel. Again, I mentioned that I get a lot of information on demand, meaning I wake up and I just get a download of some kind and I'm like, oh, I need to share this. So it's a lot more piecemeal content, but it's the point is to bring a cohesiveness and a community aspect together so that we can all do it together. Whereas level 1 is...
Before you go into level 1, it's just to piggyback on that, it's way more gentle. It's like, it's way more gradual. Right. So the idea is that if you are listening to what we're saying about like creating a space for yourself and diving in every day, and you're just like, I don't have the bandwidth to do that right now. I have small children. I can't carve out a place in my house. If the 5-week, more intensive, intimate immersion with a small group of people just does not feel like what you're ready for, but you love the idea of this, having a community of people who are at least engaged in the work and get what you're going through, it's a place for you to do this sort of more gradually as time goes on. And the other piece about self-healing immersion is that for our people who do go through the levels, it's a place for them to land in between as well and have other people who are going through the same work. You know, part of self-healing immersion is you can direct message each other. So we just wanted a really easy place for people to find one another and kind of gather. And we've really loved being with everybody. And when we're in a level 1 and we get these 3 spacious hours with everyone on Friday, when it's all done, we're like, we're going to miss our people now. And so that's why we have coffee and community, and we have workshops within self-healing self-healing immersion, so that we can also stay connected to you all, because we're all people, and the community that we have with you guys is just as important to us as it is for you guys with each other. So self-healing immersion is like so much community, gradual, gentle. We can't promise that you'll get every single little piece from level 1, because level 1 is very cohesive and put together. So I'll let Jess go into level 1 now.
So level 1, like I was saying before, it's all about developing a deep dive. It's okay. If you've ever been on a retreat, you'll know that I've been on several week-long meditation retreats, for example, and it often takes me about, I don't do those anymore because here we are. Found something way better. Mm-hmm. So I don't need to go on retreat anymore.
Well, we may lead retreats.
We will definitely, no, absolutely, definitely. That's part of the plan. And we're building it as we speak. However, we are here on this online platform because it's easier for most people to find us, and it's easier for you to fit this into your life and going out into it. So this is level 1 is about developing a level of deep energetic coherence that is progressive as the weeks go on. So you've got 5 weeks to really be held in a container where you can reset. This is about, Claire shared this reel on Instagram earlier this week that I loved. And it was all about going back to like a factory reset. Your factory reset, your settings at birth are really that of love. You know, you're in a code when you're born, after you cry, and once you get put on your mother's chest and you're just like, you turn into that bundle of mush. That's just pure love. I've had the benefit of like helping moms have babies and just like holding that little baby, like, seconds after it's born. That's like your initial factory setting. It's just pure love. It's like this unbelievable state. And when we are out in the world and we're trying to do all the things, self-healing immersion, you get to kind of, like dip your toes in and then come out, and you're trying to live your life and you're trying to do these things. But really the 5 weeks, what we've intended for you is to have this be your healing incubator. And so then you get this, this process where when I used to go on retreat, for example, it would take me a couple of days to even just be able to sit still. I was still racing. I was still, problem solving and trying to make all the lists of the things I had to do. And then as soon as I would cross over the second day mark, I remember going into day 3 and I just felt my body kind of settle down. And so that's really what we're talking about here, creating a safe place for you to do the deep dive, the real deep healing work, the stuff that has just gotten you so stuck, emotionally, physically, that stuff that we all have, that we're like, I am so ready to move beyond that thing, right? Whether it's something that's hurting you, whether it's just like a way that you feel about yourself, or whatever it is that's creating some dissonance in your body that you've had for so long and that you don't even know who you'd be without it. That's what we're challenging you to start to peel away here in level 1. We're going deep. So that's really, in my experience, my opinion, level 1 is the way to really excavate out that the real mucky stuff.
Yeah. It's cohesive. It's all put together in that time frame, and so that you can access all of it and put all the pieces together. You're going to get individual pieces in self-healing immersion, but level 1 puts them all together so that you have the whole framework. So it really is a deep dive. And like I said, Jess and I really hold you during that time. So if you need to write a long email, or I've even spent a few moments on the phone with someone in level 1, if they really need to talk through something big that's coming up, we just really, we are trying to be as attentive as we can to all of you who go through it. So the last thing that I'll say is that level 1 is there for you. You know, if right now is not the time, this is not going to be the last time that we offer level 1. And we want you to get the most out of it. So you really checking in with yourself and knowing what you're ready for is really valuable here, because we can continue to hold you in self-healing immersion until you're ready. And then when you're ready, you can join us. So checking in with yourself and knowing your timing is really important.
There's a lot more to say about, the differences as well. And, for any of you that are listening to this, whether you're listening to the live recording, the live session, or you're catching this on recording, feel free to email us, and we are happy to answer questions for you that come up even after this. Our email address is centersforenergetichealing.com.
That's our website. That's our website. And there is a contact form on the website, and you can learn all about self-healing immersion and all about level 1 on that website if you need, if you want more resources. Or you can send us an email directly, and we'll make sure we put that in the description underneath this video. But it's centersforenergetichealing@gmail.com is our email address.
Yes.
So I am going to leave you all with Jess for the group healing session. Thank you for being here with us for the Q&A. And yeah, please don't be shy if there are any remaining questions that you have or feedback you want to share about this session. We are open to all of it.
All right. So, my favorite part. Let's go inside. I mean, I love it all, of course, but all right. So, go ahead. I'm just going to adjust my view here a little bit. There we go. How are you all doing? Those of you who are here with me right now, do you want to just offer a word in the chat? How you're feeling in your body? Anything you want me to know for those of you that are deciding to tune in? No need to comment, but it's always nice to know what's coming in to our container today so I can support you. If you have any intentions, you can go ahead and put those in. If you just want to get into your body, enough of all of this chatter. Get rid of this stuff. Okay, there we go. There, that's better. Clear up my view a little bit. Okay, so let's start. These group healing sessions are one of the most powerful ways that I have found to help clear out the larger scale energies, the densities inside of the body. When I work individually with someone, or if I'm doing my own self discomfort. Yeah, thanks, Lucy, for saying that. And you and I have had the chance to speak, so I have a sense of where you're feeling discomfort, but you're welcome to add more details if you want to. So when we go into a healing container like this, we get this opportunity to synchronize together. Our whole energetic system is made of the same exact energies. We're connected. And so as we synchronize here, as I bring in this greater cohesiveness for all of us to engage in, the first step is just go into your heart and start to breathe into it. And as you do, and we all do that together, it begins this process of synchronization, which means that our energetic systems connect to one another and start to move into states of coherence. And that's the whole point here. When we are coherent, we enter into states of greater healing. When we do this together, we move more dense energy than when we're doing this alone. So this is an augmented, energetic self-healing. It's really self because it's you that is receiving the healing. I connect us together to source. And systematically we go in. So I always talk through these practices or sessions, because when you start to take your focused mind and put it somewhere in your body, energy starts to move there. It's just wherever your attention goes, energy flows. That's Joe Dispenza. And so when we bring more energy to that part of the body where we happen to be focused on together, energy starts to move there. It's pretty amazing. And so you may feel a lot of movement in your body today as we do this. You may feel yourself kind of phasing in and phasing out. And no matter what happens, if you fall fast asleep during this healing session, your body is clearing a lot. So whether you're with me and you're focused on every word I'm saying, and you're going where I tell you to go, or you're wandering in different directions, or you're falling asleep, it's all serving you. It's all helping you to heal. So there is no right or wrong way to do this. You can sit up, you can lie down. And the benefit is that I'm going to support us and guide us, and we'll get a nice deep healing over these next minutes together. So, all right, I can feel us all coming together right now and synchronizing. So take a nice deep breath, and the breath, use your internal visualization skills to start to see breath as energy, because it is energy. Air is energy. We are in an energetic sea that is filled. And the air that we breathe is energetic, meaning it's filled with plasma and ether and so much that we can't see as humans. And so as you breathe that in and you focus your attention on the place where you're breathing that energy in, you're bringing more energy there because you're looking at it with your focused mind. And you're also breathing in, meaning you're opening up the space so that more energy can flow in. And as more energy flows in, stagnant, dense energy starts to move out. So that's how this works. So breathe into your heart, which is right in the middle of your chest, not your anatomic heart, which is off to the left side, but actually the heart center, the energetic center, which is right in the center of your chest. And start to open it up as you breathe in. Feel your chest expand and swell, and the energy comes in. And now exhale and just let yourself drop. Let the energy fall down to the center just below your heart, which is your third energy center. And that's in the upper part of the abdomen. The chakra name for this is solar plexus. You'll learn in level 1, or I often teach this in my group healing sessions, that I don't connect in with chakras. The chakra system is denser than the energy system that I have been working within now. So these, I just call them energy centers, and they hold a different kind of energy, different frequency of energy than a chakra. And I go into that. I've even offered a video about that in Self-Healing Immersion if you happen to be there. So now take a deep breath into that third center at the upper abdominal region. And when you exhale, breathe and fall down. Let the energy of your out breath move your attention down into the second center behind the belly button. And as you breathe into it, start to feel it open up. And now exhale to fall down into the very base of your pelvis. And as you focus your attention down in the base of your pelvis, there's an energy center there. It's your first center. I do give this one a name because it's a very important center, and it's called the root. This is the root of the energetic system in your body. And this energy center, when it's opened, lets you energize from the earth. You get revitalized from the earth. We have to open this up like a doorway. So as you breathe into the base of your pelvis, start to feel it swell with your in-breath and take more energy as you breathe into it. And then as you exhale, breathe down. And feel the energy fall now, down from the body, and take your attention to the space just under you, under your feet, in the soil of the earth, maybe just under your feet. There is another energy center that is called the Earth Star. Now, the Earth Star is a concentrator of Earth energy that feeds up into your body, your own unique individual body. Every being on this planet has their own Earth Star. We are all being fed, breathed energies up from the earth. And it gets concentrated just under us, goes with us wherever we go. And when we make conscious connection to that Earth Star, it enhances the flow of energy into the body from the earth. This is about consciousness. This is about being aware of yourself And when you make conscious connection with your body, energy starts to move differently. When you make conscious connection with the earth, energy starts to move differently. And when we consciously take the energy from the earth and we start to breathe it up into the body, we magnetize the dense energy. It starts to move, it starts to go out. We want to get it out. We want to get into a state where our body is purging the densities. And this is how we do it. It's one of many ways, but this is how I offer it here. So now as you breathe in, start to draw the energy up from that Earth Star energetic system just underneath your body. And breathe it into the root center, your first energy center. We're going to get everyone together here to root down. So when you breathe in, breathe up the energy from the earth. And then exhale and breathe down. Feel the energy that is in your first center now starting to move down to the earth. Whether it's energy that's flowing in a nice abundant way or it feels really dense and stagnant, just let it flow down to the earth. Now as you breathe in, draw the energy up from the earth and start to really feel that sacred connection that you've always had that's now synchronized to you. So you breathe in energy from the earth up into that first center. Good, everybody. And now there's a lot of density in there today, so we're just going to stay here for a minute and breathe down, release down. I am always aware of what's going on astrologically, and there's a lot. For those of you that tune in, there's a lot of energies going through us right now because tomorrow peaks a full moon complete lunar eclipse, and it's a big one. Big, 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 huge moon. And so you might be feeling a lot of the intensity from the moon because these moon energies augment whatever we have going on at any point in time. And so now we're in this eclipse season, which augments all of it even more. So we have this, it's kind of like taking a full moon and supersizing the energy impact within your body, the energetic impact. So now breathe up from the earth. And so grounding right now is a hugely, hugely helpful way for you to ride it. Let yourself be the surfer of all these energies. And when you're anchored into the energies of the earth, you'll gain the resilience to stay grounded within, no matter what's going on, the turbulencies on the planet right now. So breathe up from the earth. Let's go to the right side. I'm feeling some very dense energy over there. As you breathe into your first energy center, draw the energy into the first center and exhale to the right. We're going to open up that right side and clear the right lower extremity. I know some of you are having a lot of challenge in the knee area in particular. And so we're going to get into the knees and we're going to just take the energy from this first center, which feeds the legs. So any part of your leg is fed by the first energy center. The energy that comes through the first center feeds the nerves that go down your legs. And so nerves and joints and muscles and tendons and bones, they're all fed by the energy that comes into that first energy center. Your anatomic system is fed by the energy that comes up from the earth, also down from the cosmos. But really what's going through your energy center and into the body. That's why we do this work, because our body is fed by these energies. So any physical symptoms that you're having is stagnation, density, energy that's not moving through your body, and therefore it's stagnating within the tissues, the joints, the bones, the nerves. And so when we work on the energetic level, we start to clear it all out. We restore the flow at the energetic level first, which then feeds into the neurologic level, which then feeds into the anatomic tissues. Inside out healing. So I'm in the right knee right now. Some of you may feel where I am. Keep breathing up from the earth and exhale straight down through the shin, the calf, and all the way down through the bottom of the right foot. Just to get that channel nice and open again. Beautiful. Okay, let's go to the left side now. Breathe up from the earth into the first center. And when you exhale, breathe to the left and start moving that energy through the left side of the pelvis, through the sacroiliac joint, and through that left hip. And we're going to peel it open as if we're unvelcroing the channel that goes down the left leg. It's oftentimes what it feels like. So breathe up from the earth. We're going to always dip down as you take your in-breath. Fill the first energy center. And now exhale down the left side, left leg. And what I'm feeling right now is congestion in the left middle thigh. And we're just going to move that down like we're squeezing it out through like a tube of toothpaste. Start clearing it down, all the way down through the knee. I'm in the left knee right now. And keep on breathing. Just continue to see your anatomy. And as you see your anatomy, for those of you that know what a knee looks like, just start to see the energy starting to move there. As you do, regardless of whether you see anatomy in the ways that I do, if you're just seeing your knee in kind of an animated kind of way, like a simplified stick figure kind of way, that's great. Wherever you rest your attention, you bring more energy. And when we start to breathe that energy through, we restore anything that gets stuck in there back to its original flow state. Our bodies only want to flow. The energy in the body only wants to flow. The body wants to be healthy. And so we have a lot of support. There we go. All right, breathe in from the earth. And as you exhale, breathe all the way down through the bottom of the left foot and open that channel wide. Now you can feel your legs. Breathe into the first center. And as you exhale, breathe out in every direction around your pelvis, your lower back, your hips, your buttocks, your legs. Just let that whole lower part of your body feel what it feels right now. Maybe there's more pain, maybe there's less pain, maybe there's tingling or warmth. And as you open up the first energy center, it just kind of dissolves, and the densities that get stuck in there are now in a state where they're able to flow again. So now as you take your next breath from the earth, we're going to move up to the second center. That one's behind the belly button a couple inches. It's also tucked down a couple inches. So 2 inches behind below the belly button, you'll find generally where the second center sits. And in many of you, it's off to the left side today. So we're going to just clear out any densities that are creating a malalignment within that second center. So breathe into the second center where you might find it in its aligned position. And when you exhale, I want you to breathe to the left, as if you're just blowing out through the left lower quadrant of your abdomen, clearing out that lower descending colon, rectum, sigmoid colon. There we go. And exhale all the way out. Let it all flow to the side of your body. Beautiful, nice. There's a lot of energy in this group. I'm sure you'll be feeling some of it, if not a lot of it. We're going to move to the opposite side. Breathe up from the earth into the second center. And when you exhale that next breath, I want you to just let it go to the right, through the right lower quadrant. We're clearing out the digestive system, the lower digestive system, the reproductive system, and helping your body get into a state of deeper rest. These lower centers help your body to normalize your nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system is housed within the lower centers of your body. And so as we start down here, that's why I always start lower for lots of reasons, but when we do start down in the lower centers, we actually turn up the state of healing by bringing your body into a state of deeper parasympathetic nervous system states. And when you're in parasympathetic, you start to heal. We don't heal when we're in a sympathetic state. That's that kind of fight, flight, freeze state that we get into. And the body just kind of stays in a locked in position of high functioning. So when we go in this way, we dial up relaxation states and healing states. So now breathe into the second center. Breathe all the way in from the earth. Feel it expand at both directions to the point where it starts to just dissolve to the horizon. As you feel that second center open up all the way. Beautiful. Nice. Okay. Amazing. If you're just joining us, you're not too late. Come on in. Let's get you into your body. Close your eyes. Now as you breathe, we're starting to move the energy up to the third center. Start to breathe up from the earth. Draw that energy right up into that upper abdominal space. The third center is a powerhouse. It holds so much powerful energy. When this center is open and flowing, you will be in states of empowerment. You will know who you are as a creator being, as a soul level being, as a magnificent self-healer. When this center is closed and energy just gets stuck in there, it's oftentimes when we feel our most disempowered. We feel like we're a victim. We feel defeated. We feel like we can't. This energy center is the center of I am. I am capable of all things that I am intending to be true, that I am intending to do, that I am intending to be. And so this center, it really turns us. It's the crossroads of feeling like the world is happening to us versus the world is happening for us. I love this center so much. And when it starts to open up and the energy starts to flow through it, we feel it. We feel infused. We feel sovereign. We are capable of whatever it is that we set out to do. We are capable of doing exactly that, intending it to be so. And all things begin at the energetic level. And so when you have a wide open third energy center, you are manifesting at that energetic level what it is that you are cultivating in your life. So if your intention is to get out of pain, this is the center to begin that process, opening it back up again. But we don't get to just open up one center. It's all about bringing the body into a state of coherence, meaning all centers open, flowing, aligned, and therefore your body is connected to itself in the most balanced and harmonious ways. And so we don't just go into one center, we go into all of them. Breathe into the third center, and we take the energy from each center, feed it into the next center, and by the end of a self-practice like this or a session like this, you will feel different, hopefully. More coherent, more relaxed, more grounded, more peaceful, hopefully less pain. Sometimes pain just takes the time that it takes to dissolve away. And so the surrendering process allows us to be okay with whatever it is our bodies are needing in this now moment. Knowing that we are creator beings, we are energetic beings, and we are self-healers. So now breathe up into the third center, open it up all the way so that the energy overflows and the third center dissolves to the horizon along with the lower two centers. So the first three centers are now open, aligned, synchronized to the energies of the earth. And so now as we move up into the fourth center, all that energy rises. Breathe up from the earth, breathe into the heart, right in the middle of the chest, and start to feel the energy pulsing through it. Breathe in and feel the heart center beginning to open and swell. And as it does, love starts to diffuse into the rib, lung, thymus, intercostal muscles, shoulders, the whole chest region and torso begins to open up. And I know Lucy has set her intention to receive some relief in the left arm, neck, shoulder. So let's go in. Drawing the energy from the earth into the heart. Let's breathe in together and just hold Lucy or anyone else who's having discomfort in this left shoulder, arm, neck area. Let's support Lucy to clear out that energy that got so bottled up there, so stagnant, that's causing all kinds of discomfort for Lucy. And this is how we help and support one another. When we go into level 1, I always take an assessment of what's going on for each person, and it just gives me a way to move more specifically and individually within the more specific symptoms that each of you have while working within the group container. So we take the collective energy that we cultivate together, that healing energy, and we direct it more specifically to help you individually. So that's another way that we that we work in level 1. We start every 3-hour Zoom session with a group healing session that's individually directed, because we check in before we do it, so I can hear what's going on in you. All right, so I'm in the left lateral upper arm right now, lateral elbow, and I'm just helping to clear out. There's a lot in there. You're all helping to support a release through one another, but also more specifically through Lucy's system as well. So as you breathe into the heart, I want you to look at the left shoulder, breathe out toward it, and see the energy starting to flow through the left lower neck, upper chest, shoulder, left arm, and down the whole left arm through the palm and fingers, releasing all the way down to the earth. So let that energy just flow through the palm, fingers. Nice. All right. And now as you breathe your next breath, that feels great. That left arm just cleared a lot of that density. So that feels like it's open. Let's go to the right side. Breathe up into the heart. And as you exhale, find that right upper chest, rib cage. Breathe through the right shoulder. We're opening up love, the energy of love, through the chest, through the shoulders. And as you exhale that breath, that next breath, breathe all the way down the left arm. We've really done a lot in the arms and the legs today. This is great. I don't often do this during a group healing session, so I'm really glad to be doing this, to be guided to do this, I should say. Breathe into that heart. Let's just open it all the way up, fill it up completely. And the overflow of love now starts to diffuse into the body, the whole body. Shoulders, arms, torso, ribs, hips, lower back, legs. And now that the body is vibrating with that frequency of love, draw the energy from the earth all the way up into the middle of the neck and open up that 5th energy center that's found there, right in the center of the neck. Breathe into it, the channel between the heart and the brain. This is such a beautiful energy center to open, to get the energy of love up into that brain that is so busy, so overdeveloped. The energy center up there is so overutilized in so many of us. When we're in coherence and the energy of love flows up, our brain calms down. We become more productive as a result. We become less of an overanalyzer, planner thinker, more of an intuitively guided being. We just know things. We know our next steps in life. We don't have to plan. We feel our way through life. We don't have to think our way through life, and everything just calms down. We are more mentally alert and acute in this way. And so it heightens our productivity in life, our ability to remain present and focused. Good. Breathe up into the mind. The middle of the brain is the 6th energy center, and I just got drawn right up there. So we're going to clear out any of those energies inside of the brain now by breathing into the 6th energy center, 2 inches behind your eyes roughly, to clear out all the brain, all the energy of congestion up there. It gets over congested. So many of us, we need a lot of support right now to help ourselves get out of our brains and into the body. And doing so energetically is a really beautiful way to calm down your thoughts, down-regulate your thinking, down-regulate your over-analytic processing mind. Breathe into the 6th energy center, open it up all the way and start to feel it expanding beyond the head and out to the horizon, releasing the energy out. Good. And now as you tune in to the top of your head, there's another energy center up there. This is number 7. Open it up with your intention. So breathe in Open up the channel that connects you to source energy. And as you breathe your next breath in, draw the energy from source into the body from above your body. If you're seated or lying down, just draw it in. And with every breath, we'll just go from the top down, clearing it out and rebalancing your system. Breathe into the sixth center behind your eyes. Breathe in from source, and when you exhale, release out. And let that energy just return to the unified field that you are being surrounded by, or let it drop to the earth. And breathe into the fifth center now. Draw the energy in, opening up that center even more, clearing it out even more. Beautiful. And now find your heart again, that fourth center, the middle of your chest. Breathe in from source. Clear that out even more now. Exhale out to clear it. Inhale from source into the third center. And when you exhale, let it just release. So what we're doing right now is we're just rebalancing every center, every cell that is fed by that center, by the highest dimensional frequencies available to us all that come directly from source. Breathe into the second center. And exhale to release the final two centers here. Finding your root right now at the base of your pelvis. Breathe in from source. And as you exhale, feel your whole body releasing and letting go and melting to the earth, surrendering any remaining densities to the soil below you. And feel your body now as compared to where we started, where you were when we started. And this is your resting place. This is your body in a state of deep healing. Just let yourself be in this space of stillness for a moment. And then bring yourself back slowly. Take all the time that you need to transition from this healing session back into your life, into your day, into this beautiful Saturday that we have ahead of us. Make sure to drink some water. Get outside right after the session if you can. And give yourself some transition time. And really to just thank yourself for even being open to receiving this kind of healing today. So much just moved through you. This is how we do it, and we do it together. We do it together and alone. You know, the alone time is really important, but it's also incredibly important to be balanced in community as well. There we go. Nice. I just got a nice wide open clearing there. So, thank you all for being with me, with Claire, for tuning in, for your questions, and reach out. We are here for you, and really look forward to connecting again soon. So enjoy that moon energy. Just remember to breathe, and you can always come back and watch this healing session. Oh, you're welcome, Penny. I'm so glad you tuned in. Sending you all love, so much love. We'll see you next time.